NASCAR suspends Austin Hill for one race after wrecking Aric Almirola. In a bold move that has sent shockwaves through the NASCAR community, Austin Hill has been handed a one-race suspension for his role in a controversial incident involving Aric Almirola at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This decision by NASCAR has sparked heated debates among fans and experts alike, with many questioning the severity of the punishment. But here's where it gets controversial. Some argue that the penalty is justified, while others believe it's too harsh. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Hill's suspension means he will be sitting out the upcoming race at Iowa Speedway, a move that has left many wondering about the future of his playoff eligibility. Richard Childress Racing, Hill's team, has decided not to appeal the penalty, a decision that has left many fans scratching their heads. Austin Dillon, a seasoned driver, will be stepping in to fill Hill's shoes for the Iowa race, a move that could potentially shake up the standings. To maintain his playoff eligibility, Hill will have to request a playoff waiver, a process that could prove to be a hurdle in his path to the championship. However, even if the waiver is granted, Hill will lose all the playoff points he has earned so far this season, as well as any points he might score in the final 5 races of the regular season. This could have a significant impact on his standing in the playoffs, as he will be starting at the bottom of the points ladder with 2,000 points. Hill has been a standout performer this season, with 3 wins and 6 stage wins under his belt. He has scored 21 playoff points, second only to Connor Zilisch and Justin Allgaier. However, the incident with Almirola has cast a shadow over his achievements, and many are wondering if he can recover from this setback. The incident between Hill and Almirola occurred late in the Xfinity race last weekend, with Almirola getting to the rear of Hill's car and causing him to lose control. Hill managed to correct the slide, but his car made contact with Almirola's right rear, sending him nose first into the safer barrier. Almirola described the crash as one of the hardest hits he has taken in his NASCAR career and expressed his disappointment with Hill's actions. NASCAR penalized Hill 5 laps for his contact with Almirola, a decision that has left many fans and experts questioning the fairness of the punishment. Some argue that the penalty is too harsh, while others believe it is justified. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Chase Elliott currently leads the points standings, but the next 3 drivers in the standings are within 20 points with 4 races left in the regular season. This means that the championship is still up for grabs, and the outcome of the remaining races could have a significant impact on the final standings. Hill's suspension has left many wondering about the future of his playoff eligibility and whether he can recover from this setback. However, one thing is certain. The incident with Almirola has sparked a heated debate among fans and experts, and has left many questioning the fairness of NASCAR's punishment. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Austin Hill suspended. NASCAR's Retaliation Crackdown playoff implications. The suspension of Austin Hill for just one race is only one piece of a much larger and more complex NASCAR Xfinity Series penalty that has stirred heated debates among fans and insiders alike. When Hill collided with Aric Almirola during the Xfinity race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on July 25th, NASCAR officials immediately suspected that the move was an act of retaliation rather than an accident. This sparked a penalty and penalty discussions that go far beyond a single race suspension. Elton Sawyer, NASCAR's senior vice president of competition, spoke candidly about the incident during a Sirius XM show called The Morning Drive. He explained that the wreck stood out as an intentional act of payback almost instantly, which is why they penalized Hill with a 5-lap hold for reckless driving right at the track. But the story didn't end there. Once the race concluded and the NASCAR team returned to their research and development center, they dug deeper, interviewing both drivers and reviewing multiple camera angles and telemetry data. What they found reminded them strongly of 2 previous highly controversial incidents, one between Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson at Las Vegas a year prior, and another between Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin at Charlotte Motor Speedway earlier in 2023. For context, Elliott's aggressive move right-hooked Hamlin into the wall at Charlotte, and Wallace delivered a similar hard hit to Larson at Las Vegas, both actions widely debated in the racing community. These past precedents framed NASCAR's decision on Hill's penalty, emphasizing a pattern of intentional on-track retaliation that the governing body is keen to address firmly. But here's where it gets complicated and controversial. Due to NASCAR's rule change this year, Austin Hill's team owner, Richard Childress, has to apply for a special waiver so Hill can still qualify for the playoffs despite missing the upcoming Iowa Xfinity race. This absence is notable because Austin Dillon will substitute for Hill in that event, leaving Hill sidelined during a key part of the regular season. This waiver carries significant consequences. Since Hill won't compete at Iowa, the 21 playoff points he earned from his 3 victories earlier this season are wiped out. Additionally, he's barred from collecting any further playoff points during the rest of the regular season. Assuming NASCAR grants the waiver, Hill will enter the 12-driver playoff field seated at the very bottom. However, once the postseason kicks off, he can start accumulating playoff points again. During the Indianapolis race itself, the immediate 5-lap penalty heavily affected Hill's finishing position, dropping him to 34th place. While sitting immobilized on pit road, Hill didn't hold back, launching a foul-mouthed tirade over his radio aimed directly at NASCAR. A raw display of frustration that only adds fuel to the ongoing conversation about driver conduct and the pressures of top-level racing. Sawyer, who himself is a former driver, acknowledged the emotional intensity inherent in NASCAR, emphasizing that Hill, as a rising star and potential future champion, must learn to channel those emotions constructively. "We told him he's a role model for our sport," Sawyer said, and that managing these challenging moments with discipline is essential not just for his career, but for NASCAR's image as well. Almirola, who walked away from the crash after a check at the track's medical facility, described the collision in stark terms, calling it definitely intentional. He said it was among the most severe hits he's experienced in his NASCAR career. He even likened it to a notorious incident in 2017 at Kansas Speedway, where he suffered a broken back, highlighting the physical dangers drivers face when tempers flare on the track. The voice and perspective behind this detailed reporting come from Deb Williams, an esteemed motorsports journalist based in North Carolina with over 30 years of experience covering auto racing at the highest levels. Deb's career includes writing for United Press International, ESPNW.com, USA Today, and the Charlotte Observer. She has received numerous prestigious awards such as the American Motorsports Media Award of Excellence and twice being named Writer of the Year by the National Motorsports Press Association, NMPA. Moreover, she served as managing editor for GT Motorsports magazine and edited notable NASCAR publications for nearly 2 decades. Deb's contributions were recognized in 2024 when she was inducted into the NMPA Hall of Fame. So, what does this all mean for NASCAR and its handling of on-track retribution? Should penalties be even tougher to prevent dangerous retaliation? Or are current rules and enforcement measures sufficient to maintain fair competition? And how much should a driver's emotions be factored into disciplinary decisions, especially when the pressure to win is so intense? These questions don't have simple answers, and they open the floor for a lively debate. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with NASCAR's approach to Austin Hill's penalty, or do you think it's either too harsh or too lenient? How should the sport balance passion and safety? Share your opinions in the comments and join the conversation.